In the REDI Lab, we build community around individual student passions and ideas, and then we create value through sharing them. We give students a process, a scaffold, and that safety net to figure out what they're interested in and see how far they can execute on it.
REDI Lab has given me the opportunity to do all these cool experiences I otherwise would not have the chance to do.
What is REDI Lab? Yes, it is now a space, and we're really grateful for that. It is a program, but more importantly, it is both a process and a community. It really starts with brainstorming and just getting ideas out there, and then they get into research and designing and creating, and then students share their ideas with each other and then provide feedback to each other. It's not a classroom space in the traditional way, and I think when we break down those walls, we just all interact and think and are creative in really different ways.
So there's a student named Nick Bain. Nick decided to run an experiment where he sat in classes all day long and in 15-minute increments determined whether or not they were important 15 minutes.
He wanted to, in some ways, study the inefficiencies of school. And so he proposed a trimester of learning on his own. And we put together this program. And so we got to prototype what that looked like and what it felt like.
The biggest thing is that if people don't feel like learning as a chore, it's something like they want to be doing, then, I think you can learn really anything. REDI Lab is like a perfect example of that.
Only make choices where you're loving what you're doing.
When I started 15 years ago, we really began to push a more 21st century based learning program and really emphasizing innovation. And the idea for a self-directed learning program that Tom Thorpe and Paul Kim proposed was really engaging for me in terms of how could we really harness student curiosity and create new opportunities for learning.
When we had our first meeting with Mike Davis, his energy, enthusiasm for innovative learning was just catching and overwhelming, and it lights a fire under you.
There's something really exciting about being involved in an innovative program, and it's one of the things that we talked to Dr. Davis about from the first time we discussed the REDI Lab. This was just an opportunity to give it a little extra boost to expand its capacity for growth.
Our mission is in the space. Leaving the confines of a traditional learning environment and making the mental shift to a new space is a big piece of them being able to live the learning experience that we're creating for them.
This space offers a lot of creative freedom and allows us to really think about what we want to do and how we can achieve that.
I think it's important to recognize that relatively few people get to access the specialness of Colorado Academy, and this is an important step to expand the aperture of opportunity for lots of students who are not at CA.
We want this program to be in the city so that we can have a conduit of what's going on in Denver, for our students to be able to interact in a whole new way, for us to be a better neighbor. If you give back to the community, you get a lot in return.
Hi everyone, my name is Jo Rydberg, and today I'll be talking about a change in schools.
My project was focused around looking at schools and looking individually at students and teachers and how they're impacted by the curriculum standards that are set here in the state of Colorado.
My name is Owen Tillman, and today we're going to talk about the Supreme Court.
I've always been very interested in politics and law, and specifically the ways in which the two areas intersect. And my project specifically was exploring one of the most famous examples, or rather infamous examples of that, which was the overturning of Roe versus Wade.
REDI Lab really provided me with a space to grow and really expand on an area that I was passionate about.
What REDI Lab did was told me, you have a unique way of learning. We're going to give you the liberty to figure yourself out as a learner and pursue the things that interest you simultaneously. And then the rest of the people in the REDI Lab will check back against your biases and challenge you to think in new and innovative ways.
What problem are you going to solve? And what is your solution for that user?
We have a real responsibility to move away, I think, from that more traditional college prep model to something that is really getting the students to think about what their lives are going to be like 10, 20, 30 years later.
What I want young people to gain out of this experience is to be able to sit across the table from an adult and feel like they can add valuable contributions to the conversation, you have something that's of value inside of you, and we want to help you share it with the world.
The CA mission is creating curious, kind, and courageous, adventurous leaders and leaders. The REDI Lab is like the adventure side of that.
I feel like there's something about that type of learning that's really effective, where if you're just really curious about something or really want to get something done, it can just feel effortless to spend a ton of time on it and like learn a bunch of stuff. And so that seems like a really powerful way to do a lot of things.